Hi and welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 books that I want to read this summer. So it's kind of like a summer TBR, summer inspiration, like what do I actually want to read this summer in terms of just like mood reading, like how am I feeling? I often drift definitely towards contemporary and romance in the summer, and I drift more towards fantasy in the winter. So I am definitely filling this list with a lot more like contemporary romance than I would normally read, but I am feeling like that's where I'm drifting towards with my reading in general at the moment, and I'm excited to get stuck into some more romance and contemporary. So this is a mixture of YA and adult romance contemporary mainly, but there is a few other ones as well, a few different things in here, so let's get started in no particular order. The first one I would like to pick up is Broken Hearts and Zombie Parts by William Hussey. This is taglined as a big gay rom-com romance. No, romance. Rom-com. Romance zombie comedy, I'm gonna say. And this is following Jesse Spark, who has had a broken heart, and in a few short weeks he'll require major surgery to repair it, which means he only has a month to accomplish two impossible tasks. Number one is to shoot his epic zombie movie on a shoestring budget if he has any hopes of getting into film school. And he also wants to fall in love before the surgery lands him with a huge scar, because how will anyone ever fancy him after that? And this is a proof copy that I was sent by Usborne, so thank you so much to them for sending this my way. This is out now, it came out in May, and I really love William Hussey's writing from what I've read from William Hussey. I read Hideous Beauty, which I loved, so I am excited to read something else by him, and this one just sounds like it's going to be fun and romantic, and I don't know, there's something about film, like shooting a film, that makes me think of summer, so I like that part of it as well. I love this proof copy, thank you so much to Usborne for it, and I'm very excited to pick this one up. The next one on this list is more typical of what I would usually pick up, and it's A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. If I remember rightly, I'm pretty sure that somebody recommended this to me. It might have been my friend Sophie, and said that this one was really good and that she really enjoyed it. I think it's this one. I know she's recommended a few different ones to me, but I am excited to pick this one up, and it feels like it will be perfect for summer. I think I might have gotten this one like last summer and like the end of last summer, and yeah, right, I've wanted to pick it up ever since, and it feels like it's finally like the time to pick this one up and read it in like nicer weather. This is set in the summer in England. It's following Lila Reyes, who visits England, and she didn't expect to be stuck in the small town of Winchester, which has a lack of sun and zero Miami flavour. However, then she meets Orion Maxwell in the local tea shop, and her nightmare trip starts to look up. With a bright new future suddenly on the horizon, will Lila leave behind everything she's ever planned and follow her heart? This one sounds like it's probably going to be just like cosy and an easy read, which is exactly what I want from a summer read. The next one is Rhubarb Lemonade by Oscar Kroon, which I feel like I've mentioned a few times on this channel so far since I've received it, and this one I received from Hotkey, so thank you to Hotkey, and it's translated by AA Prime. I think it's translated from, bear with me a second, Swedish. It's translated from Swedish, and this one is very short, and it's a sapphic romance, and it's following Vinga, who is happy to be spending summer on the island with her grandpa, and she's just happy drinking rhubarb lemonade under a lilac tree, picnicking on the beach and watching the sunset from her cliff, and she's free to be herself. Then Ruth turns up in a black vest and big black hat, and Vinga feels shy. The two girls are opposite, and Ruth hates being on the island and misses her friends, but they spend some time together and they form an unexpected friendship and realise that they may have feelings for each other. I feel like this one will be great to delve into on a hot summer's day. I might take it on holiday with me, even though I definitely will not be getting to it, but I just do really want to pick this one up. I'm so keen to pick this one up ever since I received it, and it's so short as well. The next one I've had for so long now, and I just need to pick this one up because I need to start this series, and it's Front Desk by Kelly Yang. And this one is following Mia Tang, who has a lot of secrets. Number 1, she lives in a motel and not a big house. Number 2, her parents hide immigrants. And number 3, she wants to be a writer. It will take all of Mia's courage, kindness and hard work to get through this year. Will she be able to go for her dreams? I don't know why, but this just looks and feels to me like it's going to be a great summery middle grade. This one is a middle grade series. This one's the first one in a series that has, I think, 4 or 5 books in it now, but I'm missing the second one, so I know that once I start this I need to buy the second one if I want to continue, which I'm sure I will, because I also own 3 and 4, because the publisher, which is Nights Of, so thank you to them for this one, sent me book 1, 3 and 4. I don't know why I missed out on 2, but I do need to pick up 2 so I can read this series in its entirety, because I feel like I'm definitely going to want to continue after I read this one. Then we have I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Firmino. This is the 5th book in this series. I currently have read the first 3 and I need to try and find volume 4. They're split up in a weird way, so this one actually says volume 3 on it, but it's limit 3, which is volume 5 of the overall series. I also now have 4 Seasons volume 1, which is volume 6 of the overall series, but I'm still missing limit 2, which is volume 4 of the overall series, so I can't continue with it. But this one is very sweet. It's a manga following 2 boys, one who is deaf and he's asking for like help from somebody to take notes in class, and it's following this unexpected friendship that blossoms between him and the boy who ends up taking notes for him in class, and it's just so sweet, and it's kind of following them growing up and getting jobs and things, like finding themselves and doing different things, and I really want to continue with this series, so I've been picking up the volumes that I have been able to get my hands on, but yeah, limit 2 seems to be nowhere to be found at the moment, but I will find it eventually and hopefully continue with this one before the summer is out. The next one is Happy Place by Emily Henry, which I'm so excited to read because I've heard that this one is some people's favourite Emily Henry book. I've read an Emily Henry book, which was Book Lovers, and I loved it so much. It definitely felt quite summery to me, and I feel like all of Emily Henry's books are very summery, and I've heard a few people say that although they love Emily Henry's other books, this one is their favourite so far. This one is following Harriet and Wynne, who are the perfect couple. They go together like bread and butter, gin and tonic, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Every year they take a holiday from their lives to drink far too much wine with their favourite people in the world. Except this year they're lying through their teeth because Harriet broke up with Wynne 6 months ago, and they still haven't told anybody. But the cottage is for sale, so this is the last time they'll all be here together. But they can't bear to break their best friend's heart, so they'll fake it for 1 more week. But how can you pretend to be in love and get away with it in front of the people who know you best? I love the concept of this. I feel like it sounds like it's going to be really entertaining, and Book Lovers made me weirdly emotional in a way that I didn't expect. Also has beautiful art under the dust jackets. This is the Afterlight edition, and I love these sprayed edges as well. It looks like it's going to be great for summer because it's following friends on holiday as well, so very excited to pick this one up soon. The next one is Clementine and Danny Save the World and Each Other. I talked about this one I think recently in my book haul video, maybe a different video as well, and ever since I've read the synopsis of this one again, I've just really wanted to pick it up. It's following Clementine Chan, who believes in the power of the written word, and she writes under the pseudonym Hibiscus and runs a popular blog reviewing tea shops and bubble tea in her Chinatown community. She has a loyal and kind following, save for a one sour grape named Boba Boy 888. Danny Mock is allergic to change, and the gentrification seeping into Chinatown breaks his heart. He channels his frustration into his internet alter ego, Boba Boy 888, and bickers with the local blogger Hibiscus over all things Chinatown and tea. But then a major corporation reveals plans that threaten to shut down Danny's family's beloved tea shop, and Clementine and Danny find themselves working together in real life to save the community they both love. But as they fall hard for this cause and each other, they have no clue that their online personas have been fighting for years. When the truth comes to light, can they still find their happily ever after? I feel like this kind of reminds me of Salt and Sugar, which I really loved, by Rebecca Carvalho, and that one followed rival bakeries as well, like rival families who owned these bakeries. Like, that was really good, and I read that one last summer. and I really like the idea of this one. But yeah, very excited to pick this one up. It sounds like it's going to be really, really good. The next one is Melt With You by Jennifer Duggan. I have a few Jennifer Duggan books on my shelf and I wanted to choose one to talk about in this video because I also have her latest adult, like her adult debut, which is called Love at First Sight, which I am also excited for, but I've had this one since last summer. I read Some Girls Do last summer and I just feel like Jennifer Duggan is such a summery author, so I've been wanting to pick this one up for ages and I've kind of been waiting for the summer to come back around so I can pick one up. This one especially is set in an ice cream truck. It's following these two girls who used to be best friends, had a big falling out and then end up working together in this ice cream truck because their moms both own this business, both own this ice cream truck, and they are pulled away from the business and they send the girls off on this road trip to serve ice cream at different food festivals across the country. I think this is set in the US and I'm just excited to read this one. I love the idea of it. I mean, Jennifer Duggan's written quite a few popular young adult sapphic romances, but this one with the ice cream just makes me feel like it is so summery. So I'm looking forward to picking this one up and hopefully some other Jennifer Duggan books as well. The next one is Pudding by Julie Murphy. This is technically the second book in the Dumpling series, although this one's following Millie, who is a friend of Dumpling in the first book. So it's kind of a companion book rather than a series. So is there 3 or 4 in this series now? I've got 3 of them, but I have a feeling there might be another companion to Dumpling. But I have Pudding and Pumpkin, and I need to read this because I've had them for so long now. And this one's following Millie, who just wants, I think, to kiss this boy that she has a crush on. And she ends up becoming friends with Callie Reyes, who is the pretty girl who is next in line for dance team captain and has the popular boyfriend. But when it comes to other girls, she's more frenemy than friend. But they end up becoming closer over the course of a semester and surprise everyone by realising they might have more in common than they ever imagined. And I presume that the boy that Millie is crushing on comes into it somewhere as well. I feel like I am in danger of growing out of these fairly soon, so maybe already. So I definitely need to pick this up before I do because they do sound quite young to me now. But hopefully I'll still enjoy it. Then we have a very different book, and this is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. Every time I pick this up I want to call it Will You Survive Camp Mirror Lake, because that's the slogan, but this is a proof copy, this is not the final cover. So the actual book is called You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. It looks like this cover that's on the back, and this is a proof copy, so thank you for sending this one to me, Bloomsbury. But this one is by Kaylin Bayron, who is the author of Cinderella is Dead and This Poison Heart. And this one is following Charity Curtis, who has a summer job playing a final girl at Camp Mirror Lake. So guests pay to be scared in this full contact terror game, and Charity and her summer crew recreate scenes from a classic slasher film, The Curse of Camp Mirror Lake. The more realistic the fear, the better for business. But it's the last weekend of the season and Charity's co-workers begin disappearing. When one suddenly ends up dead, Charity's role as the final girl becomes all too real. If Charity and her girlfriend Bezzy hope to survive the night, they need to figure out who the killer is after. But as they unravel the bloody history of the real Mirror Lake, Charity discovers there may be more to the story than they ever suspected. Sounds like it's going to be really good. It's quite short, so I think it's going to be really quick to read as well, and I am excited to pick this one up. Okay, I did say 10 books, but I needed to add this one in as well. So this is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I spent the whole of last summer watching other people watch, like, just see it on Instagram and see so much about this as an Amazon Prime show, and I never watched it because I wanted to pick up the book first, and I didn't pick up the book until the end of summer because honestly this was pretty hard to get last year because the show was so popular. So when we had copies back in the bookshop I used to work in, I picked this one up and it was the end of summer, so I didn't really feel like reading it at the time. I just knew that I wanted to watch it, so I still haven't read it, I still haven't watched it, but I feel like it's going to be really, really good. This one, at least the show looks like it's going to be really good, and Jenny Han adaptations just turn out great. Like, I love the To All the Boys I Loved Before films, and I love the books as well. I do have a soft spot for them, And this one's following Belly, who measures her life in summers. She goes on holiday every year, and she has these two best friends, Jeremiah and Conrad, who she sees every year. She's known them since the very first summer. They've been her brother figures, her crushes, and everything in between. Everything that happened the past summer and every summer before it has led up to now. It's going to be an amazing summer, one none of them will ever forget. I think there is a love triangle in here, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and hopefully picking this one up this summer. Can't leave this on my shelves another year. I want to watch the show. Okay, so that's definitely not all the books I want to read this summer, but that's just a smattering of the books that I definitely want to pick up this summer. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another one. And leave a comment down below with any books that you want to read this summer. But bye for now.